Now, an Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn, Huston. Developments at a dizzying pace in Washington, reacting to President Bush's financial bailout plan. And on Capitol Hill, the news is not good.
Conservative Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina says the plan is going nowhere quickly.
So President Bush was forced to take to the airwaves to fight for his economic battle plan.
Our economy is facing a moment of great challenge, but we've overcome tough challenges before, and we will overcome this one. I know that Americans sometimes get discouraged by the tone in Washington and the seemingly endless partisan struggles. Yet history has shown that in times of real trial, elected officials rise to the occasion. And together we will show the world once again what kind of country America is. A nation that tackles problems head on, where leaders come together to meet great tests, and where people of every background can work hard, develop their talents, and realize their dreams. Thank you for listening. May God bless you.
The Federal Reserve announced that 4 overseas banks from the Nordic regions have pledged $30 billion. That money will be used, if needed, to back up the U.S. financial system. Other developments today brought good news for veterans and supporters of elder abuse legislation, but pretty sobering news for those on employer health plans. The Veterans Cost of Living Adjustment Act of 2008 has been signed by President Bush. The increase will be determined by the cost of living rate given Social Security beneficiaries. The Department of Veterans Affairs grants disability status to veterans suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and some veterans with qualifying traumatic brain injuries. See the Emeritus News homepage for details. The Department of Veterans Affairs also announced a $36 million program to provide housing and other assistance for homeless veterans. The U.S. House has passed and sent to the Senate the Elder Abuse Victims Act of 2008. It's the first Elder Abuse Act passed in 17 years. It provides money for additional enforcement and pays to train advocates for the elderly, law enforcement, and those working in health care. The just-released Kaiser Family Foundation Employer Health Insurance Survey shows that premiums will increase next year an average of 5%, but more employers are switching to large deductible and copay plans. See the Emeritus News homepage to get a look at the complete survey. The Centers for Disease Control and Health and Human Services announced programs totaling a combined $130 million, the CDC awarding $24 million for pilot programs in various states to plan for flu pandemics. And Health and Human Services spends $105 million to treat drug addiction and HIV in underserved minority areas. All the news that affects you that gets passed over by the regular news media. Stick with emeritusnews.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn, Huston.